marketers. Deborah Eckerling here.
And I'm Keith Smith, and we host the MPN Meta Marketing Show, which is not just another marketing podcast, but the marketing podcast about all the other marketing podcasts.
Podcasts are booming, right? We love them, and people actually listen. They don't scroll, they don't swipe. Well, except maybe during the ad breaks.
But here's the secret. With the Marketing Podcast Network, your ads don't make people hit skip. We put your brand on shows that people actually want to hear.
That's right. We match your message with podcasts that make marketing nerds like us perk up and take notes, or at least nod knowingly, pretending they understand.
And don't worry, because we'll deliver your ad naturally. People might even think that we love your brand personally, which of course we totally do, unless it's a veggie smoothie, then maybe not.
If you want your brand heard without making listeners roll their eyes,
Head to marketingpodcasts.net and catch marketing fans at work, rest, and play. Seriously, your audience is already listening. Make sure they hear your brand and not our awkward jokes.
join the conversation because good ads shouldn't just be tolerated, they should be enjoyed.
Yes!
Hey, have you heard about Podcast On? This is a global podcast charity event where hosts dedicate one episode to a nonprofit they care about and release it together the same week. No fundraising, no fees, just powerful storytelling for good. Podcast On 2026 runs March 14th to March 20th. Join thousands of podcasters worldwide and use your voice for impact. It's free, it's simple, and it starts at podcaston.org.
The Marketing Podcast Network is a proud partner of Podcast On.
Welcome to Your Radiant Spirit, a space for the conversations and colors that help you see yourself more clearly. I'm Heather Eck, an intuitive artist and guide, and I believe your soul speaks in the ways the mind can't always put into words, through color, energy, and the stories your body holds. This show is where we explore those messages. Through personal stories, deep conversations, and creative insight, we'll uncover what's been hidden, release what no longer serves, and begin to imagine what's possible when you live in full alignment with who you're meant to be. What you hear here is more than inspiration, it's an opening, a chance to feel the shift that could change everything. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's step into today's conversation. Welcome back to Your Radiant Spirit, my friends. Happy Wednesday. I'm so excited to spend some time with you today. It is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving holiday in America, and I need the break. It's a short week, and I'm very grateful that we have time off to spend with friends and family, and also that it ends with pie. That's always really fun. This week, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to be sharing some color symbolism in a movie that just came out, Wicked 2. And the reason that I wanted to share this all with you is because there's so much good information in the colors that we see in that film. And because color is my jam and it is the thing that really lights me up, I thought you'd really get a kick out of listening to some of this. Now, here's your warning. Spoilers ahead. So if you have not seen Wicked for Good, then here's your opportunity to step away from this episode for now and then come back when you're ready. So also want to remind you that on Tuesday, December 2nd, I am holding the Color Healing Academy event. This is another place where we will gather together in community to talk about color, healing, and all the things related to teaching you different ways that you can work with and harness the healing energy of color in your day-to-day. I will share a link to register in the show notes. It's totally free. You can also join me over at my Facebook group, which is also called the Color Healing Academy, and you can join that group for free as well. Okay, my friends, let's dive into exploring the color symbolism in Wicked. So I am admittedly late to the Wicked game. I didn't see the first movie until last week because I was preparing to see Wicked for Good. And I think a part of me subconsciously wanted to wait a little bit because I wanted to know the whole story before I looked at the color symbolism of green and pink. Ultimately, I know that green and pink are colors of the heart center, but what I wasn't sure of is how they were going to be portrayed in the film, especially because I don't know the story of Wicked. I've never seen it, although I do appreciate the Broadway music. So, as you know, I'm an intuitive artist. I interpret and explore the deeper meaning behind color and what it communicates to us. So I'm going to talk a little bit about two of the primary colors in Wicked. Of course, you know exactly what I'm talking about if you are anywhere on social media. We're going to start with Elphaba and Glinda, the colors of green and pink. So if you've been here for a while, you know that these two colors support the heart center. Green supports the heart when it comes to self-love and acceptance. And from the beginning, we see the rejection of Elphaba. We see her parents reject her as soon as she's born. They refuse to accept her for who she is and what she can offer as her divine gifts. And then we have Glinda with the color pink, also of the high heart. This is all about collective and universal love. In Wicked, we also see that she rejects herself as a young child because she receives a magic wand, but she soon discovers that she doesn't have the divine gifts that she's looking for. She realizes that her magic wand actually does not have any magic, and we see the first little glimmer of her ego start to emerge because she claims responsibility for the rainbow in the sky. So, at the heart of this beautiful story is love. The story itself is a love story, not just between the characters, but about self love, acceptance, and forgiveness. And there is so much richness in these two colors, green and pink. We watch Elphaba go through a huge character arc where she moves from self loathing and rejection to an intimate sense of self love when she chooses to depart from a place that rejects her for who she is, and she moves into a loving place to make her own family with Fiero. And then Galinda, on the other hand, learns that it's not her gifts that really make her worthy because she's already divinely loved and held, but she makes the decision to truly see herself as good and to step into that good behavior. And that's when we see her gifts start to operate. You've probably heard me talk about the fact that when we wear color or surround ourselves with color, it is both ministering to an area of need and it also mirrors. So we have this sort of back and forth of ministering, supporting us, but then mirroring and communicating with someone else. So if we look at Elphaba and Galinda, they're each wearing colors that the other one needs. Galinda needs self-love and acceptance. So she's mirroring the color of Elphaba, and Elphaba needs reminders of higher love. So the green and the pink of this film represent the great and wonderful energy of the heart center when we choose to use our gifts in service of one another and bring those gifts in through the light of God. Another really interesting thing about this whole story is Elphaba's outfit. Elphaba is always wearing black. And black is a color of protection, invisibility. It acts as emotional armor. Black will hide the parts of us that we don't want the world to see because we don't feel like the world has been safe enough for us to be seen. Black absorbs energy, it holds on to pain, and it gives us a place to disappear. And that's what Elphaba does. She doesn't want to take up space. She doesn't really want to be seen. She's been rejected so many times that this color that she wears becomes a shield. So her green shows her wound and her black shows the defense of it. So when she finally steps into her power and she chooses herself and self-love, the black doesn't really become that protection for her anymore. It becomes part of the identity that she chooses. That color helps announce her strength. So Elphaba wears black, and the black protects her, keeps her invisible, and it absorbs the hits that the world throws at you. But the instant that she chooses her truth, it becomes empowerment, sovereignty, and she's no longer afraid. There's so much really cool symbolism in this film. I could talk for hours about different commentary that it makes about a variety of different subjects, but I just really wanted to share with you the colors of pink and green and how at the heart of it, Wicked is a love story, not just between the characters, but about our own sense of needing self-love, belonging, forgiveness, and identity. If you love exploring color symbolism and deeper emotional meaning behind what we see on screen, in our homes, in our offices, etc., this is the place for it. This is how I see the world, and I'd love to show you what your colors are saying too. What questions do you have? I'd love to know what you want to hear. If there are other areas of color that you want me to explore, and I'll share that with you. As a reminder, you're always welcome to join me in the Color Club community over on Facebook. I'll share a link to that group there in the show notes, and also I'll share a link to my newsletter so that you never miss a colorful moment. That's it, my friends. Wishing you all a very happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate, and I will see you again next week. Take care. Thank you for joining me today on Your Radiant Spirit. Every conversation here is an invitation to go beyond the surface, to listen to what your soul has been whispering, and to step into the life you've been longing for. If you're ready to go deeper, to work in a way that's personal, creative, and profoundly transformative, you'll find ways to connect with me in the show notes. Whether it's through art, a guided session, or a fully immersive journey, you'll discover a space where your truth is seen and your next chapter begins. If this episode spoke to you, it would mean the world if you shared it with a friend, left a review, or subscribed so more people can discover the conversations we have here. Until next time, my friend, keep noticing the colors, the moments, and the nudges. They're all leading you home. And for now, take a breath, hold on to what resonated, and carry it with you into the rest of your day. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.